If you have so many different pieces of the puzzle and there's no consistent system and we don't know what you're changing or what you're adding, then we don't know how to adjust that for you.
Oh, in a full year, and that lets you save. Who cares?
Welcome to a brand new edition of Ageless Energy, where we talk about how to burn fat, increase energy, and balance hormones for women over 40. Over the past 20 years as a performance coach, I've worked with hundreds of women that have the exact same struggles you do. I hope to shine some light with this podcast on what can be the most challenging time of your life and let you know there is hope to find success with your health and what you're looking for. Please share and enjoy.
So this one is going to be eliminating variables and following a step-by-step plan. So I guess these are all related to eliminating variables in your life to be able to see results you're looking for. So let's say, for example, if you want to achieve something, I feel like there's a step-by-step process. And that's not even mine. I first heard that from Anthony Robbins when I first kind of got into self-help stuff a bunch of years ago. And he said, don't reinvent the wheel, just follow a step-by-step process. And I thought that this was interesting because we, as human beings in this society, we're always trying to do something different instead of just following along where you can see success. So, for example, if you want to find the success of someone else that has done well in this program, then you follow the steps that they have done. And for us, I feel like it's important to understand, we're not new to the industry and we're not new to online programs or to seeing results. And I feel like that's worth sharing because many times you'll go, we hear this all the time. I went to my niece who is offering me a free program because they need hours for their certification. I hear that all the time. Or I have a family member, like an aunt, who's trying to start a business and they want to create a program for me, right? And that's perfectly okay. I don't have any issues with that. The issue is for the client. The issue is for the client, for them, because they become a guinea pig. And it takes years. We've been doing this for 20 years. I've been making programs for over 20 years. I started making out programs for myself. Then I started making programs for my teammates, even at the professional level, because my teammates would watch me and they'd say, oh my gosh, how did you gain muscle mass? How did you come from running faster from this season to the next season? And I was always experimenting with food and workout programs. And it just naturally interested me. It wasn't like, this is what I'm going to do as a profession. And then it was the same thing with supplementation. I was in my dorm rooms in college, reading the ingredients on supplements and then making my own from this product and that product. And it just interested me. And I think for any of you that if something naturally interests you, you can, I don't want to say easily become good at it because it still takes time and effort, but you can more easily become good at something if it just interests you. So when we designed this program, over the years, we looked at all of the things where we found success. So, for example, when I did personal training, it was there's very little nutrition support, even through those personal training sessions. I would try to do a personal training session and then kind of talk about nutrition at the same time, but there's a big nutrition aspect lacking. And then it was the same thing with fitness class, or not. It was the same thing with a supportive community, because I would see one person, they didn't have a whole lot of support at home, and they were working out a couple times a week with me, but they didn't have any extra support at home. So then I started running fitness classes, and I did them both simultaneously. But I realized, just as a personal trainer, you didn't have a group support, although you had workouts, right? So I said, if we had fitness classes, we could build a community where people actually felt supported. And then I realized that, I don't want to say that that was the missing link, but I realized that to see full success in a program, at least long term, I'm not talking about jumping on a 6-week program or 21-day fix. I'm talking about real sustainable results, which has always been my goal with anyone I've worked with, is to give you the tools to carry on for the rest of your life. And without a supportive community, without a fitness program, and without the nutrition aspect, and implementing them all at the same time, we don't see, I rarely see sustainable results, but you don't see the full picture of all the results that you're looking for. Okay. So from there, we've been experimenting with nutrition plans for years. So this program started as the premium, which is most of you. The newer people that are VIP, it's a little bit different. but we had a loose kind of meal plan. And then people kind of struggled a little bit with knowing how much to eat and when. So that's where we went to that premium, and we said, we'll tell you exactly how many calories to eat. It's not guessing. It's not guesswork. We've been doing this too long to know, like, we have clear data that shows that if you eat this many calories at this weight, you're going to lose this amount of weight as long as you stay on track with it, right? And then the same thing with workouts. And I'm going to explain workouts. You need, in my opinion, I believe in different types of workouts, from building full body workouts to functional movements, which is different than standing in the gym doing curls or bench press, right? It's a different philosophy. And then having regular meetups like this, an area for you guys to celebrate wins, an area for you to talk to one another, which is a supportive group. So that's what you guys need to see a full picture of results. Otherwise, like I've seen it so many times where there's something lacking or something missing for someone to get over the hump or for someone to keep their results. So when we built the step-by-step program, my goal is to eliminate as many variables as possible. So, and of course I'm explaining this program, but consider other areas of your life. Like some of you are running your business. Like some of you may be wanting to be a better parent or grandmother or whatever it is understand, like, there is a set template where you can find success if it's followed. And I think that might be the most challenging part. But for us, what we've tried to do is eliminate as many variables. And when I say variables, I mean like what is changing, what is moving parts, what could adjust your results that you may not otherwise see what you're hoping for. So we have come to the realization that, like, over the years, if you follow this type of meal plan, if you do these types of workouts, and you're constantly connected to the community, you're going to see results. And to be quite honest with you, 100% transparent, I haven't had anyone that has come into the program and followed these steps that we've laid out and haven't seen results. So I'd say it's nearly impossible unless you're not following along. So, and many of you know that, many of you have seen incredible results. Maybe the only thing I can think of is consistency. And we're continuing to improve our program and find different ways to help you guys stay interested, motivated, connected. It's usually that disconnect that we see, that may be a little bit of a dark hole. So some of these questions came across, and I think it's worth mentioning to everyone. So one of the questions, and I get this quite often, one of the questions that came up was, can I do different types of workouts? So I want to explain workouts for you guys, because you should all understand why you're doing the certain workouts that you're doing and why we have them planned out for you. So I believe in building a solid foundation, because as an athlete, I would see so many people get injured, not taking care of their body, and then they weren't able to compete. So if you guys are involved in any type of program and you're injured all the time, you're not going to be able to work out. You're not going to see the results you're looking for. So I built a solid foundation for you guys. So it's just body weight exercises first. And some of you are further along the lines of the program, and you'll have, like, we implement props and we implement bands, balls, etc. But the goal or the purpose to start this program is for you to build a solid foundation from coordination and balance and core and stability, so we can eliminate just about every injury. So I just want to be clear with that. This isn't like it's not a guess. It's not like I think this might work. This is a very clear philosophy of what we believe, and we've seen incredible results with it. So if you're building a solid foundation through functional movements, you're going to get stronger. You're going to fight osteoporosis. You're going to have better joint and mobility health. So a question came in. She's not with us anymore, but she said, well, I'd rather do cardio instead of resistance training. Can I just do cardio? And I'm like, you could do cardio if you want less results. And she's like, I don't really understand. And I said, well, you need to build muscle mass. So the more muscle mass that you have, the faster your metabolism will burn, the more you'll burn body fat, and then you'll drop inches in weight, right? And that's perfectly okay, because we see that often. Like, that question is okay. I mean, we see that often from women that often come in and they do hours and hours of cardio at the gym, and then they don't see any results, because especially in this age group, you guys need to build muscle mass. So what I'm saying here is that you would be much better off by following the program exactly how it is, instead of trying different things to fix the program, right? And Angela, you're cracking me up over there. Do you have something to add? So are you trying to fix the program? Okay. So if you guys were to just follow the program, so the results that we've seen, I don't want to name them because I don't want to leave anyone out, but we've had incredible results, and I can tell those people that are very structured. Like, for example, I'll just tell you, like, or for like Dorothy, for like as a teacher, like they're very structured. So when teachers come in, they're like they're by the minute, right? Like, try to change their teacher plan, for example, and they'll lose their mind. I'll tell you real quick. These teachers they asked me to do a warm up for a fun run one time. And they had the warm up before like the national anthem. And I was like, I said, it doesn't, and I didn't know that till I got there, right? She's like, okay, you're going to do the warm up. She had it all written down. You're going to do the warm up, and then we're going to do the national anthem, and then we're going to get the run going. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you should do the warm up right before the run. She's like, no, we have it all planned out. It's right here on the paper. And I was like, and that was one of the first times I really realized that, like, teacher, and Dorothy, of course, those of you that don't know, I think everyone knows Dorothy's my wife. She's a teacher for over 10 years. She's very structured. So if you lay out a plan for Dorothy, she'll do exactly what it says. And then, and now we have other people, and nurses are very similar. Like Brianne's very similar. Brianne's very similar to that. Like, we'll do exactly what it says. So when I start to talk to people, I say, we have a plan, the shortest distance between 2 points. Does anyone know? Shortest distance between 2 points. It's a straight line, right? Okay. So you have your beginning point where you guys start, or maybe where you are now and where you want to go. We can take you there with a clear step-by-step process, which is we call the Metabolism Accelerator Program. Or you could do other things like, I want to try this workout, or I want to do cardio instead, or I want to do this meal plan, or I want to change this up. So my point is that it's very clear, and we've seen amazing results by following the step-by-step program or process instead of trying to do something different. Is that clear enough? Okay, so that's workout. So sometimes people come in, or they say, I want to do this workout, or I want to do that workout. Or some people will say, I want to walk, or I want to garden, I want to shovel instead. And I'm like, great. You're not going to get the results you're hoping for if you're not doing the workouts and you're being active in other ways. There's still benefits to that. And everyone starts at a different level. So some of you may be starting out walking, for example, or jogging. And then like the program progresses. But I feel like it's just important for me to share with you, maybe for my own benefit, to help you understand, like, this program works. We know it. And we have numerous case studies that will prove that. Now, it's the same thing. So that's workout. So if you do our workouts, follow the meal plan, and you use the support, you'll see results. I think that's pretty clear. So you can use other workouts. I just don't know. Like, I don't know the intensity. I don't know what type of workouts. I don't know what you're lifting. And it just doesn't make sense to me to come into like a program that fits together like a puzzle and then be like, I'm going to put my own pieces in instead and hopefully get the same picture. I just feel like that's complicating things. But I also feel like that's our society. And like, usually women in this age group, you've tried so many different things. You're used to trying different things. So even though you found something that will work, if you put in the full effort and give it time, without question, I have zero doubt that it will work. We're so used to dabbling and trying different things or adjusting on our own instead of just sticking to the plan. And then it comes to this. Then it comes to nutrition. So this came up. We've tried a vegetarian diet, and we were near meatless for probably a handful of years, 5+ years. And it was fine. Like, we felt good on it. But then we started to have we wanted different results, and we wanted to try different things. And then we started to add more meat as a macro. And this is where we started to see more results. And it's important for women in this age group, like in particular, for you to understand that it's really hard for you to gain muscle mass without, it's probably, I don't like the word impossible, but let's just say it's you're stacking all the cards against yourself if you're not doing resistance training and you are not eating enough protein macro. It's hard in general. And then if you're not going to resistance train to build muscle mass, which we see often, hopefully not in this group, and then if you're not going to eat the protein macro from a meat. So what we used to do is we used to combine. So this is like, it's not a high in protein, but amino acids are the building blocks of protein. So if you combine foods, this is what we did. If you combine foods, you'll get a complete protein. Like we did cucumber and celery. Who knew, right? That's a complete protein. It's just not enough protein. And then you can combine beans and rice, complete protein. So you don't necessarily need a meat. But that being said, it's just not enough for you guys to get your protein macro high enough. So when we balanced macros, this took us years. Like this wasn't an accident or it's not an experiment. This took us years to figure out these types of macros that you need to see the results that you're looking for. So if you eliminate a macro, like if you're like, I'm not going to eat fats, because some people are afraid of fats, right? Because we've been told don't eat fats. So if we have your macros laid out for you and you're not going to eat fats, then you're going to come to me and you're going to say, I don't have any energy. Like, why don't I have energy? And I'm going to say, well, you following the meal plan? And hopefully you'll tell the truth and say, I follow the meal plan except don't eat fats. So I'm going to say, like, now we know. So that's what I'm talking about, is eliminating variables. If you have so many different pieces of the puzzle and there's no consistent system and we don't know what you're changing or what you're adding, then we don't know how to adjust that for you, right? If you're following everything the way it is and you're not seeing the results you're looking for, it's rare, but it does happen. So what happens? So what do? We do is we change. We say, maybe we can add a little bit of cardio for different reasons. Maybe we need to adjust your meal plan a little bit. But if there's so many variables that are just all over the place, if we change one thing, what's the difference? Because there's so many other things that are changed, right? That you're changing yourself.
One of the things I would like to ask of you guys is that some of you know that I don't run ads on the show and don't plan on in the immediate future. So the only ask I have for you is that you help us spread the word so we can help more women burn body fat, increase energy, and balance their hormones. And the only way that we can do that is if you can rate and review this podcast. So the single thing that I could have you do or could ask of you is to leave a review. It'll take 5 minutes or one swipe with a thumb. It would mean the absolute world to me. And more importantly, you could change the world for someone else. As many of you know, there's plenty of women that struggle in this age group for balancing hormones, increasing energy, and burning body fat. So if you could help spread the word, that would make a big difference in our life and probably someone else's as well.
And it's the same thing when it comes to like supplementation. And I always say this, like, we don't push supplements. Like, I think everyone should take them, but I'm not like bugging you guys on calls or posting why everyone should be taking supplements every day. Like, that's your choice. But consider this. This is what I often hear. Someone will say, oh, I have my protein container. I just want to finish that and then I'll start taking yours. The problem there, and that's fine. The problem there is that which is why we developed ours, is that most protein supplements are fully junk. So you have sucralose, for example, that ruins your gut bacteria. So for women, not only does that inflame your body and cause chronic pain, it also ruins your gut microbiome, which causes more menopausal type of symptoms. So it could be something as that simple. So someone's like, oh, I'm following the meal plan, I'm doing the workouts, but you're putting these horrible toxins in your body that is ruining your results. So that's what I'm saying is like, and I don't argue with those people. And some of you may have said that in this room, and then I'm okay with that. It's just, my point is that if you're changing different things on your own, it's hard for us to be able to adjust and say, that's not working because of this. So that just goes back to wrap that point up. That goes back to the macros that we've built for you. And like I said, we were vegetarian. We'd eat meat once a week or once a month. For no particular reason. We just didn't really enjoy it. And then we wanted to try something different, try something new. And then we started eating more protein meats. And both of myself and Dorothy's results went through the roof. And then we started to put together in that program. And then we started to roll it out to our audience and more amazing results. So I'm not saying that you have to eat the meat or eat all the meat that we're suggesting, but I'm saying if you don't, you should expect different results. Like, you probably shouldn't just to change your expectations, right? You shouldn't expect the same results as many of our success stories because they're probably doing exactly what they're being asked. Dorothy and I were talking about this. We talk about like MAP in our program all the time, probably more than she would enjoy. But I'm like, all I talk about is business, right? No, I've been much better. We talked about, like, if you look at a different profession, right? Like if you went to a dentist or a doctor, for example, and maybe you have to do something with your teeth, like remove a tooth, or maybe you need to have some type of surgery. Would you make suggestions to them? Like, I don't think I need 6 stitches. I want 8, right? Like, And I guess take that with a grain of salt, because I always question, like I would always question any professional, but still, I didn't realize until I got really into coaching. Like we've spent thousands of dollars in coaching, and that's when our business took off. So that's why I'm such a big fan of coaching. And I don't have a problem questioning, like asking questions, but I follow like when they lay something out, I follow it. And I'm not like, I'm an all over type person. But when I know someone has found success, I'm like, I'm doing that. I'm doing exactly what they do. Because if they do exactly what they do and they've seen results, then why can't I? But at any rate, consider that. Like consider something like laid out for you, or in another area. I used to say this in the gym when I worked out in a gym. Like a lot of times people don't know how to use the weights, right? Or like the machines. And I would see this all the time. The New Year's resolutioners, they would show up at the gym, like brand new shoes, new workout equipment, and they'd like do a little bit of cardio, and then they'd walk over to like the weights section, and they'd like a little bit puzzled. And then they'd like do a couple reps, and then like look around and see who's watching, and then they'll get up, and that was me watching. Then they would get up, and they tried something else. And I just thought to myself, right, like your life would be so much easier if you just paid someone for like an introduction, or paid someone for a program and show you how to use it. But my point is that you wouldn't walk into a dentist office and be like, start like poking your teeth and like, oh, I wonder what this is going to do. It doesn't really make sense, right? But for us, we're like, this is exercise. Anyone can do it. So we start doing all kinds of crazy things. And then you end up being on a TikTok video and you're like, what happened? I don't know. Okay. That's pretty much how I'm happy that I got some smiles here and I'm not putting you guys to sleep. Okay. I don't want to keep you guys any longer. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for showing up for yourself, for the group. And hopefully you got something out of that. Sound good? Have a nice evening. Bye guys.